This is the Real Footy Expert Tips Podcast. Thanks for joining us to tip round 12. My name's Andrew Wu. Joining me, as per usual, is Peter Ryan.
It's kind of good to be back, but I'm really disappointed actually with my performance last week. So I've done a bit of soul searching. Only managed 3 tips, I think. 3 correct tips last week, maybe 4. And it was just a devastating weekend.
Would you like to have that Swans game again?
I would. Yep. I
tried to tip you into it as well.
I know.
Gave you the history and
I left this place after we recorded the podcast, and for the rest of the time, until the result was actually known, I knew I'd stuffed that up.
That's a bad feeling.
I know. And they were up before half time. I was at the MCG watching Pendlebury's record-breaking game, so I didn't see the game. But
yeah, they were in front. They were in front early. Yeah. I was a little bit worried, and then I think by half time they put a margin on.
I think that's right. And it just looked like a silly tip, and it means that I'm no longer your joint leader. You've been joined by someone else.
No, I've kicked you out of the house, and it's Mark McGowan joining me at the lead now on 74.
Yeah, he's a good tipster, actually.
He's very good, defending champion.
Yep.
So you're there with Jake on 73, Matt Stokes, John Perrick, and Jimmy Bartell on 72. And Wayne Campbell's up to 71.
He's been brave the last few weeks, Wayne Campbell.
Needs to be brave as well, because it's not easy to make up ground. So that said,
the way we've been tipping, it's not that hard.
Speak for yourself.
Last week. What did you get last week?
I retained the lead. I'm not too sure beyond that.
No one covered themselves in glory. It was the first week really for about 6 weeks where it's been upset after upset after upset. So we just have to get back on the horse, don't we?
Well, you got to tip. You got to be brave, I think, in tipping. Get to this stage of the season.
That's contrary to your view.
No, but
that's not right.
This is the round where you do need a bit of bravery. Because, I mean, last week, some of the teams that got rolled, some of the teams that won, they weren't entirely unpredictable.
No, that's true. Carlton were a chance to beat Port Adelaide, and if you had the chance to change your tip after you saw what North Melbourne did to Gold Coast, you would have definitely tipped Carlton.
And Bulldogs and Melbourne was very much a 50-50 game.
That was 50-50.
Probably got lulled in a little bit too much by Melbourne.
But you
being
can't
away
be
from
too
the
hard
G.
on yourself with that. I mean, it was 3 points.
Well, exactly. But it's time of year. Being safe, I think, doesn't necessarily win you.
This is extraordinary from Lewis. This is extraordinary. He's gone away from the 50-50, they're the only ones you have to get. All right, here we go. See what Captain Bravery's got in store for us.
Sometimes you go the 45 instead of the 55.
Yeah, good. Go for it, Willie. What do you think, St Kilda Hawthorn?
Well, this is a game that I'm not going to tip the Saints.
You shirked the first contest. You are as weak as water.
It would be a ridiculous tip to tip St Kilda. You can't be reckless. St Kilda would be a reckless tip.
Head down, fellas. You're like a bloke.
I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get me into tipping St Kilda, and I'm not falling for it.
Play your shots, and then come on, fellas, we've got to attack the game.
Why are you tipping the Saints this week then?
I'm not tipping the Saints, but I didn't make any big statements. No. I wasn't Captain Bravery before I walked into this. I'm tipping the Hawks because St Kilda got too many injuries.
They do, don't they? Nas is still out.
Yep.
Wangani Malera, Mitch Owens, Liam Ryan, Jack Higgins, and they lose Dougal Howard, who's been a handy little foot soldier for them this season. But the Saints, they've been competitive, haven't they?
Oh, they've been really good.
Just below that top tier of teams.
Yeah, they're a 3-quarter team against the good teams. They can't stay with them. Brisbane and Fremantle have both made mincemeat of them in the last quarter of games, and Brisbane were obviously going a bit better at that stage of the season. So they're a team that can actually match it with the best teams, but just can't put the killer blow. And Hawthorn are not that good either, but they did a good job to beat Adelaide.
Are they the bottom end of the top tier, Hawthorn, or the top of the second tier?
Until Will Day gets back in a few games under their belt, yes. But Will Day's a significant addition to them when he's up and running.
Well, I've had a look at the Saints' record. They've beaten 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th and 12th. And they've lost to 1st, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 10th.
But they're playing reasonable footy. They're competitive. They haven't lost by big margins.
But I'm not going to tip them just because they're competitive and lose, especially when they're playing Hawthorn. I'm tipping the Hawks.
Yeah, I'm tipping the Hawks. I knew you'd tip the Hawks because you're all talk.
No, well, get later on and then you start playing your shots a bit more. Friday night footy, Carlton against
You remind
Geelong.
me of the great Neil Danaher saying, who obviously we mourn his passing this week, but what is it? When all is said and done, a lot more is said than done. That is you, to a T.
Don't use the great man to try and get me into making silly tips. No, I'm not falling for these tricks.
Fair enough.
Okay, Friday night footy, Carlton against Geelong. It's a Blues annual respect game. I think it's 10 years of respect for the Blues, so they'll be wearing a bit of orange with their jumpers. The Blues got a great record against Geelong recently. They're 3-1 in the last 4 games, stretching back, I think, to the start of 24, maybe even into 23. But
it was
the Cats,
a head scratcher last year when they beat them, wasn't it?
Sort of. They caught Geelong on a bad day. But I don't think Chris. Listening to that press conference afterwards, Chris Scott was smarting, like he didn't like it. So I think he'll have them wound up for this game.
Yeah, that's true. I think Geelong will win. They're just going along nicely. They need a
form team.
Well, they are the form team, absolutely. At the MCG on a Friday night, they've had the 6-day break, but Carlton had to travel back. Josh Fraser's done a good job, and Carlton are better with the pressure now released since Foster's departure, which actually helps teams play better footy. The Cats just have too many guns, particularly up forward, Jeremy Cameron and Shannon Neal. I think they will worry the Blues. Jacob
Wettering should be back this week, so that will help them. Though I don't think they missed them at all last week. Wettering, their defence was rock solid, and they had good pressure up the field. I think this will be competitive for 3 quarters, but I think the Cats will get away from them in the end. So, Cats for me.
Yep. Malcolm Fraser is what I think of every time I see Fraser attached to Carlton for some reason.
Malcolm Fraser.
Yeah. He was the number 1 ticket holder at the Blues.
Oh, very good. Okay, Saturday afternoon footy, Sydney against Richmond at the SCG. Oh, you can't tip Richmond, can you? Swans will win this.
No, Richmond they've won their 1 game for a month.
A month? Do you think they can win 1 a month?
No, they're going okay. I mean, given the lack
they're
of
honest,
players,
aren't they? They have a crack.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kai and And might step straight out of Ocean Grove, Geelong VFL into the Tigers lineup, which would be a great thing for the young man. Well, he's probably 22 now. To go up to the SCG, we'll see on that. But Sydney will be, and he could play on Charlie Curnow. Imagine that, coming from Ocean Grove and you lock on a Charlie Curnow in your first game.
One of the locals.
Yeah, Sydney. Yeah, Sydney win.
Swans for me, but their form is a bit of a watch. If they were playing any other team this week, you'd be, apart from Essendon, you'd be thinking maybe, but not against Richmond. I think they'll win comfortably. Can I jump in and make them a margin tip?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're such a brave.
Risk We're going to get in first.
No,
Well, do you want to have this one?
No.
I'll give it to you.
I don't want it.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Let be on the record that I did offer.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Next game, Saturday afternoon, Brisbane against Fremantle at the Gabba.
I'm tipping the Dockers, even though they're stretched.
You're brave. That's brave.
Well, they've won 10 in a row.
No, but it's at the Gabba. Lions don't lose at the Gabba, generally.
Well, they lost 2 weeks ago to Geelong.
Generally. I said generally is doing a bit of work.
But against good teams, they've struggled in the last 3 weeks. They are in a rut. Freo, it's the perfect opportunity for them to go and say, we are absolute contenders. Luke Jackson could have a field day playing in the ruck. Shai Bolton, Murphy Reid, they've got enough runners. Andrew Brayshaw. I mean, they're missing Sarong, he was out last week. It's
pretty much their only out, though.
Yeah.
They get Alex Pearce and Hayden Young will be back this week. Well, they're tests, so I'm assuming they'll be back.
Yeah, I think Pearce is looking good. I'm not sure about Young. But the Brisbane Lions, I know that third quarter won't be replicated, but it worries me. You come from an 80-point defeat to try and beat the ladder leaders.
14 goals in a row.
I don't care where you're playing.
That's a disaster. That's a complete breakdown.
Belted out of the middle. So they'll be much better. System. Brisbane Lions, I'm not suggesting this is a Dockers win.
Well, you are. You're tipping them, eh?
I know, but you know what I mean. A Monty is probably what I'm
No, far from a Monty.
But I'm tipping the Dockers.
The safe tip would be the Lions because they're at home, but I'm going Freo as well. This is what I mean.
You are a new man.
Brisbane aren't. I think we think of them, I mean, they are the back-to-back premiers, but they're not playing like a top 4 team.
No.
And I had a look at who they've beaten this year, and the highest team they've beaten is 7th. So their other wins are against 10th,
You're big on
11th,
this, aren't
13th,
you?
15th, 8th. And we're at the time
Yeah,
of
you
the
can
season
work
where
it
you
out.
need to have a look where everyone sits. And they've lost to 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 9th and 12th. So Freo are top of the ladder. A lot of people are slow to jump on Freo, given what they've done.
Well, you
in the
can't
past.
trust Freo because of their history, but I would think that the absence of Dane Zorko, continued absence, is having a bigger impact than everyone thought.
They've got a few out. Zorko, Payne, McCarthy, Ryan Lester, who is so important to them.
Yep.
Hipwood hasn't played all year. Oscar
Hipwood hasn't
Allen.
played for a long time.
No, Annabelle as well, the youngster. I think Jared Berry and Noah Ainsworth are a chance.
Yeah, well, Berry's an important player. Still, I'm sticking with the Dockers.
Yep, Dockers for me, even though they haven't won at the Gabba since 2016, when Justin Lepich was coaching Brisbane and Ross Lyon was coaching the Dockers. So, but these are the type of wins if for teams like Fremantle, they want to do
Tick 'em off.
special things this year. These are the kind of milestones they've got to tick off. And I think they will do it this week. Well, I hope so
Very
anyway.
good.
But I'm tipping Freo.
Yep, I'm tipping the Dockers.
Next game, Saturday night footy. The Western Bulldogs against Collingwood. Scott Pendlebury breaks his record again.
I love
this
the
week.
way you turn the page to let all the listeners know that you've done a lot of research and you've got all
It's
the
just
notes
It's
everywhere.
a blank page.
Bulldogs for mine.
This is a good game as
Have
well.
they come home from Pendlebury yet? They might still be out, I think. They had big celebrations after that record-breaking game, even though they're going to have an extra day to, prepare
need it, won't they?
themselves.
They won't have used that extra day's rest all that well, have they?
No, I would have thought that was a recovery day in all sense of the word. Look, this is going to be a tight game. I was really impressed with the Bulldogs' vigour and will, particularly around centre clearance last week, particularly late in that game when I think Bevo mentioned it, they got 5 out of the last 6 centre clearances or 4 out of the last 5. And it made a big difference to giving them an opportunity. And Norton and West were fanatical. They actually played like Bulldogs.
That tackle.
Yep. And Arthur
Tooth and
Jones
nail,
is coming on.
Tooth
Tooth and nail. Yep.
Tooth and nail. Give us a few bars.
Tooth and nail. There's me. I really opened up the lungs for that one. Yeah, Collingwood just got over the line against West Coast, and I know the actual occasion made it more difficult.
Did the occasion get them? Like just the magnitude of everything, the
I would
build-up,
have
the
thought so.
emotion.
Yeah.
They were a little bit tight.
They were more focused on the outcome than they would normally have been against West Coast, so they didn't move the ball as efficiently. But the Bulldogs are hard to beat at Marvel, and I think that they'll get the job done.
Yes, I agree with you. But I think they'll need Bontempelli, Richards and Norton to be among the best 5 or 6 players on the ground for them
Well, you
to
can
win.
bank Bontempelli, almost bank Richards given his return to form.
And Norton should go all right again. He's got a good match-up against Billy Frampton.
Dacos Bontempelli will be great.
And I did crunch the numbers again on who they've beaten. Bulldogs, they've beaten 6th, 7th, 8th, 12th, 14th, 18th and lost to the top 4 and 15th. And the highest team that Collingwood's beaten is 11th. They've drawn with Hawthorn at 4th and lost to the...
Interchange breach.
lost to the top 3 and 7th and 8th. So they've kind of got the profile of a side that's around that bottom end of the wild card.
Both of them.
I think the Dogs are a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, a little bit better, although they've lost a few key players. Collingwood's lost Darcy Moore. It'll be interesting to see if Pendlebury comes up for this game, given the 6-day break.
And how? The party from last night.
Probably the party, but more so that just the...
We gave himself a 6-day break from the party.
Yeah, but just the enormity of the occasion would have been exhausting, but he's a professional. He'll probably come back. Anyway,
Marvel Stadium
Bulldogs.
goes in the Dogs' favour as well.
Yeah. So your Dogs?
I'm going for
Same.
the Dogs. Tough game though.
Yep.
Important game.
We're online all the time. Just search Age Real Footy on Facebook or Twitter.
Okay, all right. So I want to get into this. I don't want to keep you here too long. What a brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm not just talking about the third quarter where you kicked 14 goals to zip. I'm talking about the fact that we played our way for the whole game. All right? And this is what we are capable of. This is why I stand up the front every meeting and go, hey, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And I did it again. I will be okay, but it was the actions that mattered.
You've just heard Adam Kingsley's post-match address to his players. The vision was spectacular.
Yeah. They had the... it was just old-fashioned footy.
I actually
wasn't
had to zoom in as to what they were holding. I thought maybe they were drinking mineral water or something, lolly water. But they were having a few beers, which made when I sent it to you last night, your immediate reaction was
buy.
And then had a look at the fixture.
Yeah.
They're playing this week.
That's correct. I'm surprised they're travelling to Alice Springs, which is not an easy trip. I think that they can beat Melbourne, though. I think that comeback to form is a sign of what the Giants are capable of. Not to that extent, but just the fact that they had run and confidence in each other, and Lockie Ash playing well. I mean, he's been good all year, but Toby Green kicking 5 goals, Jake Stringer kicking 5 goals. That'll do wonders for them. There's also a bit of talk around the Giants, which you would know better, that they often do this at this time of the year because they spend a few weeks on the road, a bit homeless around the showgrounds.
Yeah, they struggle in April and May.
Around the Easter show. And then they start to come good. Melbourne were excellent for the second half last week. I thought they fought it out really well to try and get the win over the Bulldogs. But I just detected a little sign of flatness and tiredness crept into their game.
Ooh, that's a good observation if it plays out that way.
That was just my sense.
What are they, 6-0 at the MCG?
Pickett was nowhere near his captivating best. Gawn played his usual good game, but wasn't as dominant as you would have thought he would be given the ruck opposition that the Bulldogs had. And Lever they're missing, so that's another big out.
Tom McDonald will be a good cover, though.
He's a good cover, but he's not Jake Lever.
No, couldn't move Petty back. Milksham played well in the VFL last week, and Brody Myercheck's a chance to come back, so they've got reinforcements.
It'll be a good game. And I love the Alice Springs game. Great backdrop. I've once covered a game there. It was a fantastic atmosphere.
I've covered cricket there.
And
it rained.
Oh, there you go. That's an issue for Wooey. And your cricket? Giants for me.
I'm tipping the D's, even though I'm...
brave from you.
Well, not as... Well, it's a 50-50 game.
Glenn Archer.
But Melbourne away from the MCG, they're still... That's a question mark. I think
seriously?
all their wins,
what, Luther's luck at Sandown or something?
Have all their wins been at home this year at the G? They may have won one other.
Yeah, I think they've won one other.
But they're unbeaten at the MCG. And as impressive as the third quarter was by the Giants, it felt a bit, 14 goals. It's a bit out of the box, and it's a little bit too exceptional.
Yeah, but it was built off defensive pressure. The opposition was very
I reckon
ordinary.
It speaks more about Brisbane.
Everything went well for them. Like, they're not going to do that again, no doubt. But it does give you confidence when you play like that.
Well, it should. And then, unless you start poorly, then you're wondering.
This will be a tough game. This will be a tough game, but worth in the 50-50 thing. We've basically shown that by each tipping different teams.
Yeah, the D's for me. The Giants still got a lot of injuries. I know, even in that clip where Adam Kingsley is saying it doesn't matter who you are, you all belong at this level. But you'd feel a lot more confident in the Giants if they had Jack Buckley, Tom Green, Jesse Hogan, Darcy Jones, Josh Kelly, and Jake Riccardi playing.
Of course you would.
So,
but it doesn't mean they're not going to beat Melbourne. Sam Taylor potentially back, and your man Brent Daniels showing what he's capable of. Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm tipping the D's, so we're going different here. I like this.
Yeah,
this is good. This is moving round.
Yeah. See you later. Dust. Eat my dust.
Final game of the round, 7-game round, which is a bit disappointing. We're going to have to put up with this for another month.
Pathetic.
West Coast against the Bombers, who are under Dean Solomon for the first time.
Yeah. Second time as an interim coach.
2-time interim. Okay.
Yeah. Never won. He hasn't won a game.
Okay.
He lost 3 games when he was interim at the Suns.
He's got a lot of chances this year to break that duck.
Yeah, but he's coaching Essendon.
Don't be like that, Pete.
No.
It's been a difficult week.
I've only won one game.
For Essendon supporters, there's no need to rub it in.
It's not a difficult week. Most Essendon supporters I talk to, and this is no reflection on the capacity of Brad Scott or whether the right decision was made, but a lot of them are excited.
They just want it changed, didn't they?
Yeah.
It is easy to blame the coach.
Oh, terrible. Because he didn't have a chance, really. I mean, they were injured all last year. They had no injuries for the second half of the year. And this year just got off on a bad foot and they never really recovered.
No, they have. They beat Melbourne. That's an extraordinary result.
Yeah, West Coast, I think, will win this. I was really impressed with the way they played on Saturday against Collingwood. They've got some really good, obviously, young players, as they should. Willem Dersma, Harley Reid played his 50th. Ginby?
Ruben, I think it's Ruben
Jimby. Shanahan's. Good players.
They're building a good core, aren't they, of young kids?
Yep, and the senior players, Liam Baker, so on. They're good too.
They've got 12 players under 23 from last week and 12 players under 50 games. And you'd think Essendon, all the talk is that they're rebuilding and they're young. Well, West Coast picked a team that was, on average, 1 year younger.
Yeah, and they play with a lot of heart. And they're getting potentially Brandon Starsfitch playing his first game for them. Potentially. He played well in the Waffle last week. So that's another bonus for the Eagles, and which is why I'm tipping them as my margin tip.
Oh, very good. I think this one will be close. And I think West Coast will
You
win.
know how I'm going in the margin.
Yeah. Well, what happened last week? So I tipped 3-0. They won by 30.
Yeah. No,
Who'd you pick? Collingwood.
I tipped Collingwood.
You thought they'd win by a big
Oh, no.
margin.
When they got 29 points up and Elliott kicked his second in the third quarter, I was loving myself sick. Then there was 4 points of difference or something about 10 minutes later. I thought, they're going to run away with this and it's going to be a 60-point win.
So I'm up to 593.
Yeah.
You're on 329. It's kind of like a cricket score, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
First innings leads 264.
Can you declare?
Well, maybe I shouldn't tip for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
Give you a
that is insulting. I'm insulted by that. But come on, the Eagles.
Okay, well, let's recap our tips this round. So we've both gone Hawthorn, Geelong, Sydney, Freo, Bulldogs. I've gone the D's, you've gone the Giants.
Yep.
And I didn't say that I was tipping the Eagles. Oh, no, I did.
Yeah.
And we're both doing the Eagles.
Yeah, so what's our only difference? Is Bulldogs, is it? No, we're both tipping Bulldogs.
Giants
Melbourne
and
Giants.
Demons.
So it's hardly run away round, is it?
Well,
I thought we had another difference. Anyway.
that's all we got time for today. Thanks for joining us. You can see the rest of the experts' tips at theage.com.au/AFL. Make sure to subscribe, rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to get in touch with us, send an email to realfootypod@theage.com.au. This podcast is out every Thursday to help you with your tipping. The next Real Footy podcast will be out on Monday, reviewing all the action from round 12, where I've hopefully tipped 7 out of 7. Until then, may your team win.